All right, guys, good evening. My name is Brian Wright, and I would like to welcome you to tonight's product overview call. We do these product overview calls every Monday evening. So if you should find yourself in need of this resource in the future, you can count on it happening every Monday night at 9 o'clock with the same call-in information. Now, if you've dialed in through the computer, you may be seeing a gray box on your screen. And if you are seeing that, there's nothing wrong. It just simply means that I'm not sharing any slides. So you've likely been invited to this call by someone because they've either talked to you a little bit about this thing they're doing, and you've shown a little bit of interest. Now, I want you to take a minute and think about what it is that's gotten you interested. Is it the potential for weight loss? Or is it increased energy? Or maybe better performance or just overall better health? And while you're thinking about that, I want to tell you my goal for tonight is to provide a high-level overview of what isogenics is, why we need it, how nutritional cleansing works, and then at the very end, we have the privilege to hear from a guest speaker who's going to share with us her experience with these products and how they have impacted her life. Now, before I dive into the information, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. Again, I'm Brian Wright, and before I was introduced to isogenics, I felt physically and mentally exhausted. I was relying on anywhere from 10 to 12 cups of caffeinated drinks and other synthetic products to get me through my day. I was introduced to the products by my incredible wife, Meredith. And when she got started, I was extremely skeptical because I am the proverbial gym rat. I've spent countless hours in and out of the gym for years and years and years. And I'm also a fitness competitor. And I had never heard of these products, never heard of the name isogenics before. But I watched her start on the program, and the results that she got were undeniable. You know, she had stopped drinking coffee, but yet her natural energy was in a place I had never seen before. And we'd been together at that point nearly 16 years. And, you know, I needed energy. I was just drained. And so the energy that I saw in her got me excited. So I started on the products about 30 days after she did. And I was really at that point in my life in the best external shape that I had ever been in. So I really didn't feel like I had weight to lose. Now, I did release about 7 pounds of toxic fat, but the key ingredient for me was my natural energy went through the roof. Um, and really, I've felt amazing ever since. I often tell people, you can't know how bad you actually feel until you feel as great as you're going to. So here's the thing. I'm not paid to do these calls or these overviews. And, you know, I'm not obligated to do it either. But here's what it boils down to. I find it to be a privilege because what I see in this is really a gift. It's a gift that someone cared enough about us to share with us. And so I simply just want to share a little bit with you. So let's dive in. What is isogenics? Simply put, isogenics is a solutions-based company. Now, we often get segmented into the weight loss category because it is one of the side effects that we see from incorporating this amazing nutrition into our bodies. Now, we have other solutions as well. Weight loss is one of them. Energy and performance is another. Healthy aging, as well as wealth creation. Now, Tonight, I'm not going to get into the wealth creation solution because we have a separate dedicated call for that on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. So if that piques your interest, I would encourage you to get back with the person who invited you tonight so that you can get the information about that call. Now, we often get asked, what Isagenix is. And I just said it's a solutions-based company. And that kind of tells you what the company is. But people want to know, what's this program? Well, simply put, it's a full body cellular cleanse and replenishment system. And it focuses on kind of two main issues. And those issues are toxicity and deficiency. Now, I think we can all agree that we have a health crisis in the United States. And some statistics to kind of drive that home, if there is a debate, that 1 in 2.2 people will develop cancer. And in the 1950s, that was 1 out of 12. 1.3 million women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. That's a 30% increase in the last 25 years. Diabetes, thyroid disease, autoimmune disease, all on the rise. And obesity is rampant. 2 out of 3 Americans are overweight, and 1 out of 3 children are considered to be clinically overweight. And what's causing that? Well, I just mentioned that we look at the way that Isagenix works in the body by addressing deficiency and toxicity. And really, those are what I would say the root causes of a lot of what we're dealing with in the US. It's coming from. So what is toxicity? Well, the environments that we live in are being bombarded with chemicals and toxins that are really found everywhere. It's in the air that we breathe, in the lotions and deodorants and makeups that we put on our bodies. It's in the mattresses that we sleep on and the foods we eat, and even the water that we drink, just to name a few. Now, our bodies were designed to filter these toxins out, but not at the overwhelming rate and amounts that it's dealing with. And quite frankly, the body just can't keep up. So in addition to the toxicity issue, our food sources are lacking in the minerals and the vitamins that our bodies need to be fueled with. So nutritionally, we're deficient. It's kind of like buying a Ferrari, and that Ferrari was designed to have high octane fuel put in it. So we buy that $150,000, $250,000 car, and we drive it off a lot, and we go to the gas station. And rather than putting that high octane fuel that we're supposed to put in it, we choose to put the low octane fuel in it. We fill the tank up and we drive away. Now, that vehicle is going to work, probably not the way it was supposed to. It's not going to perform the way that it was designed to. It's going to get us from point A to point B, but it's just not going to perform. And the same is really true for our bodies. So how are people having such amazing results with the systems that we have here? Well, simply put, we're flooding the body with that high octane fuel that it needs to perform the way that it was designed to. So when we put this pure food source into our body, the body will balance itself out and it will put itself into a state of peak performance. And then we address the toxicity issue and we cleanse the body at a cellular level and allow it to release the dangerous toxins so that it can thrive. Now, when we kind of take it all down to brass tacks, if you will, the goal is to get the body to an alkaline environment. Now, you may remember as, I don't know, maybe a middle schooler or in life science, there was a chart. It looked like a rainbow, and it was the pH spectrum. And it had the acidic side on one side and the alkaline side on the other. And you may remember the litmus paper that you dipped into a bunch of different things to see where it fell on that spectrum. Well, 96% of Americans are walking around with a pH level that falls in that acidic range. And here's the deal. Our bodies weren't designed to operate in that range. It's part of the reason why we hold on to excess weight, why we may not sleep as well as we would like. Our energy can be low. And digestive issues stem from this as well. And that's just a few things. Now, on the other hand, there are great benefits to alkalinity. We see a boost in energy. The body sheds excess weight. We sleep better, better digestion. The aging process slows down. Inflammation is reduced in the body. And here's the thing, this is not new news. In 1931, a doctor won the Nobel Prize for proving that cancer cannot survive in an alkaline environment. He also proved that it thrives in an acidic environment. So remember, 96% of us are acidic, which means we have the perfect environment for cancer and disease to thrive. Now, can we do something about it? Absolutely. So our solution is nutritional cleansing. And at the basic level, the premise of the program is shake days and cleanse days. Okay? A shake day consists of 2 meal replacement shakes, and these shakes are truly the perfect balance of the vitamins and minerals that we're missing out on from our whole foods. The shakes are the foundation of the shake is undenatured whey protein from grass-fed cows in New Zealand. Now, you may or may not know that New Zealand has the highest food standards in the world. And so these cows are not treated with antibiotics or hormones. And the grass that they feed on is not treated with herbicides and pesticides. So they are truly happy cows. And the whey protein is undenatured, meaning it is not heated to a place where it cooks off the natural digestive enzymes and the branched chain amino acids. All of those things stay intact. So it makes it a much more bioavailable product, and the body uses it very efficiently. They're also 99.9% lactose free. So most people who have a lactose intolerance are able, to use these shakes. Now, if you have a true dairy allergy, we do have a dairy-free line as well. There's no soy, no GMO, no artificial flavors or sweeteners, and they're clinically proven to allow the body to adjust its own pH from an acidic pH to a neutral or alkaline pH in the first 48 to 72 hours of drinking 2 shakes a day. Like I mentioned, a shake day is typically 2 shakes a day, but you also get to have whole food snacks and a whole food meal that most people choose to do at dinner so they can do it with their families. Now, the cool thing about this is, people think about diets. Well, it's restrictive and you're taking things away. No, we're telling you to eat, okay? And it doesn't have to just be the 2 shakes a day, the breakfast shake and the lunch shake and dinner at night. It could be a combination of some other combination because it's flexible and allows you to work this into your schedule. Another reason why people are very successful, because it's flexible. So the shake days make up the bulk share of your first 30-day program. And in those shake days, we are dealing with the problem of deficiency, right? We're replenishing the body with the vitamins and minerals and the nutrients that it needs. And we get the body to that alkaline state. Then we need to address the problem of toxicity. So we do that by the other 4 days out of that 30-day period, we are going to cleanse the body with a nutrient-rich drink that we call Cleanse for Life. And Cleanse for Life is simply a product that will support the body's natural process of ridding itself of toxins. Now, I mentioned we need to be alkaline first, which is why we do the shake days at the beginning, and then we move into cleansing the body at a cellular level. So it is important to note that these products really work together as a pair rather than as kind of standalone products. Now, on a cleanse day, essentially you're doing a modified fast. Now, I say modified because you will be consuming nutrition throughout the day, but you really won't be consuming like fork and knife meals. Now, we do this because we want to slow down the digestion process so that the superfood nutrition that we're flooding the body with on those cleanse days can be used to support the body in its battle against the toxins that are stored up. Okay. Now, I can kind of hear some of the wheels turning on some of the folks on the call right now, because you have a preconceived notion of this word cleanse. Let me just put your mind at ease. It is not that type of cleanse. It's not organ specific. It's not like anything that you've had to do prior to some kind of procedure. Okay. We're cleansing the body at a cellular level, and we're ridding the body of those toxins through our urine. Okay. So those are the Cleanse for Life product and the shakes are the two kind of staple products of the system. But we have some other support products that I'd like to review as well. One of which is probably one of my favorite products, and it's called Ionix Supreme. It's an adaptogen-rich drink that your body will use kind of however it needs in that moment. Now, a lot of people experience stress relief, whether that's physical or emotional. The body can use this to reduce inflammation, which has an impact on inflammation-related conditions. It's the body using it and how it will need it in that moment. And it may not be the same every day. Or if sometimes, I take it multiple times a day. And at certain times of the day, I'm using it for different reasons. Our athletes love this stuff. And I love it for this reason specifically, because of the recovery process related to physical activity. Many of our former professional athletes say that their bodies feel the way that they used to feel when they were actively playing. And I recently heard a former NFL running back say that he felt like if he had had these products in his body while he was playing, he more than likely would have been able to play a few more years. And that's pretty incredible, because those guys are like in car accidents every time they play. Another product that we have are our isolene protein bars. Now they are made up of the same undenatured whey protein that's in the shakes. And these are really a great snack on the go, and they can even be used as a full meal replacement. Another favorite product of mine is the eShot. Now, if you're familiar with, let's say, those time-related energy shots on the market, you may know that there's a lot of artificial junk in many of the products. And while you'll get that bump in your energy, you oftentimes will get the crash as well. The eShot is all natural. So it not only contains the equivalent natural caffeine as 1 cup of coffee, so you do get that burst of energy that you're looking for, but it also contains adaptogens, which can provide mental clarity so that you can really rock out whatever it is you're doing. And the best part is that there's no crash at the end. Another product is Replenish. It's an electrolyte drink that doesn't have all the artificial flavors, sweeteners, and dyes in it that some of the counterparts on the market might have. And it works great throughout any day, especially for, kind of replenishing with physical activity, whether it's working out, working in the yard. And our kids absolutely love this stuff. We have a new all-natural pre-workout drink called AMP that is absolutely amazing. I love this stuff. They just released it in August, and quite frankly, it has transformed my workouts. We have a vitamin line that is called Ageless Essentials that has Nobel Prize-winning research built into it through one of the components called Product B. And it was developed to slow down the aging process. We also have fruits and greens that really both contain the recommended doses of fruits and vegetables. And it's a whole lot more convenient than having plates full of fruits and vegetables. So it's really simple and it tastes great. And I've never really enjoyed green drinks, but I'll tell you what, this our greens drink it doesn't taste like it looks. And that's really, like, again, 30,000 foot snapshot of the products and the systems. And we have so many products, and we could talk about them and the impact that they're having for hours upon hours, but we want to be respectful of your time. Those products that we talked about, you can integrate them into your health journey so that you can maximize your results. But now I have the pleasure of introducing Courtney Owens to everyone. I'm super excited to hear from her. She's been using the product since January, and I have been able to witness her transformation. I'm super excited. So welcome to the call, Courtney.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Awesome. Well, I have to be honest, I am so excited to even have a story to share with these products. I didn't know if I would or not. I kind of have a story, the classic tale of boy meets thin girl, girl has baby, girl drops weight, girl has second baby, and no dice, weight sticks. And I think that's a story for a lot of us because 4 years after that second baby, I was still working my butt off to try to get back into my pre-pregnancy clothes, and that was not the case with my first kid. I had always been very cognizant of my weight and my nutrition and knew how to do this, but for some reason, like the weight was just really sticky and it wouldn't come off. So I ended up owning 2 pair of pants in my entire wardrobe. One was a pair of yoga pants and one was a pair of jeans. And I found lots of very creative ways to wear those 2 pair of pants every single day because I absolutely refused to go out and buy more clothes in that size that I had never been. And I didn't even really recognize myself at that weight. So I started dieting and I worked really hard at my diet. I did multiple different fad diets that were out there. I tried to pick ones with, decent lifestyle kind of things associated with them. But at the end of the day, they all managed to require a certain deprivation, and every time I would cheat a little bit or celebrate, I would immediately rebound. But I was counting calories and eating lean and eating what I considered clean, low carb, that kind of thing, and was getting some results, but still, like I said, was rebounding pretty hard every time there was an event. So I did what almost all of us do when we can't get weight to come off. We go to the gym. And I started going to the gym, and you see all those people in the gym and they look pretty in shape. And the thing that never really registered for me was that it's 80% nutrition and 20% exercise when you're trying to lose weight. And a lot of us, including myself, tried to switch it and make it 80% gym and 20% nutrition, and that's just not the way that it works. But I started spending time in the gym, and I got up to where I was working out 6 days a week. I was afraid to miss a day because I was afraid that anything I had done for my body, I was immediately going to lose. So I worked out 6 days a week, and I did get really strong, but I did not get lean. I was not getting the lean muscle that I desired. And I was doing all kinds of different exercises and stuff in the gym. 2 things happened to me from all of that gym work. Number one, I got really hungry. And with somebody who was working so hard to count calories and really deprive myself, hunger was not my best friend when I was trying to make food choices in a very hungry state. And the other thing was that my body really started hurting. I was creating inflammation in my muscles and joints, and I was starting to live off of Advil. I got to the point where I would get out of bed in the morning and I was almost crippled. I couldn't even hardly walk to the bathroom without my ankles just being in so much pain from being on my feet and working out so hard. But after a little while, in the mornings, my ankles would kind of let up and I would just sort of go on about my day. The other thing that I started really noticing about my life was that I was really, really tired. I would come home from work, or my husband would come home from work, and right after I could put the kids to bed, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, I was crashing out on the couch. I'd just fall asleep on the couch while he watched TV, and that's when my night would start, and I would sleep all the way until the next morning because I was just so exhausted all the time. So interestingly enough, Meredith and Brian Wright actually introduced me to these products about 6 months before I said yes. And I didn't really think I needed them. I was doing everything I knew to do, and I was really white knuckling my progress, thinking I can do this in my own strength. But my husband came to me at one point and said that he really wanted to try it. And so, being the supportive wife I went ahead and decided that I would try it with him. And I set a very lofty goal of 5 pounds because, quite honestly, I didn't really think that anything was going to work for me. I was very healthy, very fit, eating very well, and did not really think this weight was going to go anywhere. I believed this was my new body. And I also really didn't expect the products to work. And being that there was a 30-day money back guarantee, I was fully ready to get my money back at the end of 30 days. So I set my very low expectations of 5 pounds. And within a couple of weeks of being on the system, 8 pounds just slipped right off my body. Nothing I had ever done prior to this had produced results like that. And then within just a little while, 15 pounds slipped off. I was thrilled, but I had a little bit of an expensive problem at that point because I went right through my pre-pregnancy clothes and needed a whole new wardrobe, which was really fun to go shopping for. That was about 9 months ago. I entered the maintenance phase after that. And that is probably my favorite part of Isogenics is the maintenance phase, because Isogenics really does prove that it's not a fad diet, but that it's a lifestyle that allows for celebrations and anniversaries and vacations. And I'm somebody who loves life. I celebrate absolutely everything, and that includes food. But two things kind of happened for me. Number one, my relationship with food started changing. It wasn't that I no longer really desired those cravings I used to have. Instead, I started craving things that were good for me because of the nutrition that was going in my body. And the second thing that happened was when I did indulge, I had a solution to get me back on track quickly and keep me moving forward. And because of that, Isogenics has just fit really well with my maintenance with this program. And I have maintained the same size that I did whenever I lost the weight. So there was one other thing that happened that I had really never given any credence to, but about 7 years earlier, I had a car accident. And it left me with a lot of inflammation in my back and neck. About one time a month, every month, I would make a visit to my chiropractor. And about 2 to 3 times a month, I would wake up with a headache or my neck would lock up from inflammation. I would constantly call my husband over and go, press on my shoulders, they hurt so bad. But I had just chalked it up to getting older, and just like I had with my weight, and that it was just pain that I was just destined to live with for the rest of my life. I didn't really pay it any attention. My whole goal with starting Isogenics was really just to drop those 5 measly little pounds. Well, about a month into using the products, I actually canceled my chiropractor's appointment. And about 60 days in, I thought, wow, I really haven't had a muscle relaxer recently. And then 3 months passed, 5 months passed, 7 months passed. And now it's been almost a year since my last chiropractor's appointment. And I absolutely have no clue where those muscle relaxers even are. So, which is really fun. So within a couple of weeks of starting Isogenics, when those 8 pounds kind of fell off my body, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And I told my entire family. And so my sister and her husband and my husband, my brother, my mom, and my dad, we all started within a couple of weeks of each other. And together, over the course of just a few months, we lost a family total of 150 pounds, which was absolutely unbelievable. My dad's heart issues, inflammation and burning of the esophagus that my mom had. I'm so sorry, I'm getting over a cold. Aching joints and pains that both of them had, they all started subsiding. And at the age of 60, my dad started like bounding out of the bed, and he drops to the floor to play with Grace. I'm sorry. One second. Excuse me. All I can all I can say is that if I hadn't lost weight on the system, I would probably still be using these products. I really can't ever imagine going back to the way I used to feel. I know Brian said this a few minutes ago, but I didn't even know how bad I felt until I didn't feel it anymore. So to say that Isogenics has been a gift for my family is really an understatement. Because I was always concerned with what went in my body. I just never thought I could afford this type of nutrition, nor did I think it would ever taste this good. So I really appreciate your time. I'm so sorry I'm still sick. But I also just appreciate Brian for sharing Isogenics with me.
Well, Courtney, that is incredible. I mean, having had the pleasure of being a part of your journey, and watching it all unfold for not only you but your whole family, it's truly a blessing. And so, listen, we're right at about 30 minutes. I want to thank everyone for sticking with us and listening tonight. If you have any questions that didn't get answered tonight, go back to the person that introduced this to you and, get them to answer it. The other thing is our bodies are incredible, and we simply are just putting good nutrition in the body so that it can be the miracle. We aren't claiming to heal or cure or treat anything, but the body is the miracle, and it's doing for itself with this nutrition what it couldn't do for itself before. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us tonight, and we will look forward to being on this journey with each of you. Have a great night.